So the Team Canada case, that's Gretzky's sweater from the '87 Canada Cup. This here is the first year of Maple Leaf Gardens. Yeah. That's signed by the whole team.
I collected a lot of Upper Deck. So you got player contracts here?
These are letters written to Conn Smythe from players that were at war. And Gretz, when he visited, he of course signed the wall.
Ah, that's great. You call this the room. Others might call it a shrine. They would call it a museum. Look, every journey starts with one step. What was the first step?
For me, it was growing up in the late 50s and the 60s. There wasn't a lot of things to do besides playing hockey outside, or there was 4 channels on TV. And so playing hockey became an obsession with me to learn how to play the game. So the obsession of hockey soon turned to being an obsession with the game and the Leafs. And then I had to have everything with the Maple Leaf on it. But my first real game piece was a Carl Brewer game-used hockey stick. And so that started it. And then my second piece was a Frank Mahovlich poster that was a promotional piece from Libby's Beans.
What I'm seeing here is impressive, to say the least, and that's coming from a Habs fan. I mean, this is beautiful. But this is not everything you've collected. You've actually parted ways with a big chunk of your collection. It's now at the Canadian Museum of History. How does a guy like you with a passion like yours part with anything?
It was very tough. But why I did it was with the understanding that one day it would be on display. I would stay involved. I would like to be out there speaking about it as the years go on. I would work with the museum, and the museum was very positive with all of that, and they wanted me to be a part of it. So the collection would be there. It would be for other people to share.
So you're hitting every single game for the entire season?
Yes.
And no matter where it is?
Yeah.
And then so far, you've got a perfect record?
Perfect record.
And so what, for this lifelong Leafs fan who, if he hasn't seen it all, he's read about it all, what have you learned this season that you didn't know before?
It's been overwhelming, because how embedded this hockey club is in families and people throughout the nation. Everywhere I go, there's Leaf fans everywhere. When I was in Minnesota, the Leafs played that outdoor game. I just said, this is so Canadian. And you're standing there after the game, and here's the players, the Leafs, leaving, going into this little kiosk, which was just to put your skates on, and there's a hot dog truck outside. These guys have got their running shoes on, their full equipment, eating hot dogs, carrying their skates and their sticks to the bus.
Well, my last question for you is probably my most important. And every year for over 50 years, your team has disappointed you and broken your heart. Is this year different?
Well, as a Leaf fan, you always hope every year is going to be the year. Doesn't matter what year it is. The way I look at it is, I guess I'm getting older now, and I guess I'm becoming maybe, I don't know if I'm getting wiser, but maybe more realistic. Get through the 82 games first, because so much can happen. Make the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens.
Over the line, scores! John Tavares upstairs has the kick started.